Alright everyone, welcome to another video, Full Speed Impulse, and today we're back working on the XR100, and hopefully today's a simple video, but it could get complicated. So we have a crack in our intake boot as far as the one that goes from the head of the motor to the carburetor, not the one that goes from the carburetor to the airbox. And there was a split in there for a while, but it wasn't leaking air. Well, the bike started running really bad, and then it developed what sounds like a ticking noise, and we're hoping that it's all involved with just this intake boot. And I know I keep calling it intake boot. It might not be called that exactly, but here, let's get on to it. We bought this off of Amazon instead of buying a OEM one, which is a lot more money. So this one here was very affordable. I can't even remember what I paid for it now. It was like 25 bucks, something like that. Versus I think it's like $100 for an OEM one. But we might be second to get an OEM one. We'll see if this one fits or not, and if it works. So we're going to get right at it. Let's show you guys what we got going on. So you know the deal. This is our XR100, and we have the 22 mil Mikuni on here, which fits perfect. Right here, guys, big old crack. And it looks like we tried sealing it up at one point, and it did last, and it don't bueno anymore. So we got to get the carb off here. These are studs here, I believe. So we got to take these nuts off. Looks like 10 mil and some 8 mil action, maybe. And we're going to get that off. Hopefully we don't have to, hopefully this all moves around for us for the most part. We'll see. We might have to undo this too. But I'm trying to do this as easy as possible. So we'll just get at it. Let's take this stuff off and see where we're at. Yep, it's 10. Don't you go down in there. All right, we got a gasket we're gonna have to clean up here. All right. Hopefully our studs are the same size. All right, guys, let's unbox this guy here. It comes with a little gasket. Make sure we put that back on. I'm gonna make sure your seal's in there, which it should just push right in. Just looking at the bore of it right now. It seems pretty good. Even though looks like you could smooth that out a little bit if you wanted to. It's got a little bit of an edge to it. Not the cleanest machining. Definitely some room if you wanted to port that out a little bit. We should be good. So let's get this mounted on and see what happens. We're going to get our studs in there first, put a little Loctite in there, and should be good to go. All right, get our studs in there. Ooh, tight fit. Sometimes it's good to use like a little bit of I think it's called an adhesive sealant. You can put just a little bit on the inside there to kind of help hold that in. We're just going to try to be careful here. I don't get it. Like, I get the parts are cheaper, but why even sell a part that doesn't fit? All right, so what we have to do is run a drill through this right here, and we're gonna open it up just a smudge, and that should be enough to get that on. Not a huge fan of that, but it's not gonna affect anything because everything's still pressed and sealed through here, so we're not affecting anything on that. So it's got to run a drill through here, open it up just a smudge, and we should be good. That's what we've been fighting this whole time. All right, guys, we're going to clean this up a little bit. We actually already started a little bit, but there's just a really nasty edge around this I wasn't really fond of. This side is bigger, and this is the side that butts up to our carb, and for our 22 mil, that is a really good fit. You can see how this goes in like that, and we don't want to necessarily open this all the way up and then make it to where it's got a step going into the motor. So what we're going to do is just kind of go through this side here. We cleaned up the edge and just... There's a little step in there, and we're cleaning that out too. All right, I think I'm pretty happy with that. That looks pretty good. So let's get this cleaned up, and yeah, hopefully it fits now. Kind of annoying. All right, guys, after lots of frustration here, we finally got that on. One thing we learned, and it might depend on your carb too, is that on the other side, because that's where the choke's at too, we had to reverse this, and we had to have the short side of the stud hanging out instead of the long side. And it looks like it could go either way. But yeah, that was another thing that was just kind of boning us a little bit. But other than that, we had to take this off to get the carb. It just turned into like a big ordeal. So let's fire it up and see if we actually made some progress. All right, guys, we got her running good. Running crisp. All right, guys, that's it for today's video, though. As you can see with the Chinese intake, manifold boot, or whatever it's called, it does work, but you're gonna have to modify it a little bit if you want to save that money. But you know the deal. Until next time, we'll see you later.